The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Blackjack, a jackalope folk warlock.
My name's Connor Shenold. I play Jaska, a coyote ranger.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play Twitch, a rat folk wizard.
I'm Brooke Bullock, playing Ziansi, a spiderkin cleric.
I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Billy, a balsam fighter. And I'm also your dungeon master. Join us for Tales from the Wilds. You've been traveling the road to Athenus for about a week at this point. You've traveled through plains, hills, valleys. You've mostly been alone, with only the most brave and curious squirrels and chipmunks approaching your camp at night. You've even been followed for an entire day by a very fat gopher who you discovered Billy named Greg and had been feeding rations to. Blackjack sent him home to his mother gopher, and Billy very sadly gave him some crackers to go. Jaska spends the first few days of the trip regaling you with her story of meeting Seos and everything that happened to her at Bleakburn, and uses the survival skills the team sorely missed without her to keep everyone on the correct path. The weather is fair and the road is clear, and it's an uneventful week's journey. You almost feel like, for the first time in a long time, you almost have the day off. The blue dragon threat fades into the back of your mind, and you genuinely enjoy just spending some time with your friends. So I need everybody to roll perception or insight. You're gonna get advantage because this is over the course of a few days.
23 perception.
19.
22.
17 on the insight.
So Jaska, the road is well worn with wagon ruts, tracks going in both directions, the vegetation's well maintained on either side, but it occurs to you that it's a little odd. You haven't seen a single other traveler on this seemingly well-traveled road. From what you know, Athenus is a large and populous city, and it seems odd to not see a single other person traveling toward or away. I don't know if you want to wait for everybody and then you guys can all talk because everybody gets a thing.
Okay.
Okay, Ziansi. Each night, as you prepare for rest, you spend time reaching out to Grandmother Spider, and although she's never spoken to you directly, you've always been able to feel her comforting and mischievous presence. However, recently, you notice that her presence seems to be waning, and she's not as present in your prayers as she once was. Twitch. As you get farther from Bleakburn, you realize the seasons in the Feywild seem to be less controlled by the days, weeks, or months, and more connected to regions. The farther you get afield, the few autumn leaves you find, and the hotter the sun seems to be. It seems like you're traveling from fall into the heat of summer. One night while on watch, you could have sworn you saw a dragon flying very high above the clouds towards the directions of Athenus, but it disappeared in a blink, and you're not sure if your eyes were playing tricks on you or not. And Blackjack, you haven't had a close personal connection with your patron Oberon for a long time at this point, but recently you find yourself having extremely vivid dreams of Oberon most nights. In these dreams, you find yourself at lavish and opulent parties, full of color and music and the most excellent entertainment you can imagine. And each night, Oberon is in the center of these parties, relishing the attention and lavishing his own well wishes on the Archfey in attendance. Nobody seems to notice you in these dreams, but last night, you could have sworn that Oberon looked right at you, and his charismatic grin almost slipped, just a fraction, before he turned away.
Ziansi,
Yeah,
I just had the most disturbing dream.
Oh, go on.
What? I've seen that look before. Have you been having a disturbing dream as well?
Well, no, it's just all the, I just feel like Grandma Spider isn't as close as she was when we were over at Bleakburn. She was just right there, and it was easy to hear her voice and evening prayers and stuff. And now it's all out of way in a distance.
And I've had the complete opposite too.
What?
Yeah, I dreamt about Lord Oberon. I've been dreaming about him for the past couple nights.
Blackjack, I have innocent ears. Do not tell me about your Oberon dreams.
Well, no, it's not like that. That would be disturbing. Maybe. I don't know.
He's not that kind of fae, Billy.
But last night...
He is, but anyway.
So the past few nights, I've been dreaming about these lavish parties that Oberon has been throwing.
That's
which,
tracks.
It's not normal.
Right.
But for me to be there, but no one seems to be noticing me. It's like I'm...
For people not to notice you is very weird.
I hated it. And I thought, well, maybe they should be noticing me. And then Lord Oberon, he looked right at me.
He did not.
He did.
Oh,
and then
no.
he's all jovial stuff.
Yeah.
What? He was not jovial.
Oh, no.
I'm really disturbed by that.
What did you do again?
Oh, well, then I just woke up.
No, I think Zianzi means what did you do to make Lord Oberon mad?
Oh, no, that goes way back.
And that's
Zianzi and
a
I
long-
know about that.
That's
yes.
a long time
It was
ago,
all
sure.
Zianzi's fault.
It's your idea.
It was always my idea, but it's your fault. It didn't work out. We should not have gotten caught.
It was hilarious.
It was fantastic.
The look on their faces when they took a bite.
I know.
Jaska, remind me why we hang out with these criminals.
Well, they kind of lighten the mood up, but every now and then they get a little too much into their old stories, But you mentioned you've had some weird things about both y'all's deities.
Right.
Yeah. How are you feeling about nature?
Well, nature's kind of all right here in the Fae. It's a bit different from what I'm used to, but I have had a strange suspicion. You know those wagon tracks that we see on this road?
Yeah.
I like to push Mudman into them.
But I just think it's kind of odd. We've yet to see any people or any other being other than animals, and you just think...
Don't forget about Greg.
Well, that's what
I said animals.
yes, but we've not. I didn't even think of it. Thank you for noticing that, Jaska. That I hadn't even noticed that other sentient beings have not.
I think I might have saw nothing now.
No,
What
What did you say, Mr.
Is it
Twitch?
Well, I was just looking around in the clouds, and I thought I saw a dragon just way up there. But then I don't know, it wasn't there again. I don't know if it was because the heat was getting to me or what it was, but it was probably not a dragon.
What did you see? A color?
No,
It was too far away.
No, it was too far away, and I didn't want to make a.
But if it was way up there and you could still see it, it didn't look like a bird, it looked like a dragon. It could be big.
Yeah, that could be a very big dragon.
Could be.
We do know that dragons aren't used to being here in the Feywild. But I've got a question for you, though. Back to Jaska's point, is this a fairly well-traveled road?
Well,
How old do the tracks look?
I've been taking us to Athenus. You'd think that this would be a fairly busy track, and Jessica will look over the tracks and can I do a survival to see?
Sure.
15?
They seem like not months, but maybe like days or weeks old. Like they're old, but not anciently old. Okay. It is still weird to you.
Yeah, we're on a road. We're not
On a road,
just
on like
in
a
the middle
highway.
of the forest. Yeah,
Like you're on a big,
between
well-traveled
Bleakburn and Athenus. So we should be seeing.
That's the vibe that Jaska gets. It's
Yeah.
weird that these two populous cities, nobody.
And it seems to be getting warmer. Have you noticed that, Twitch?
Yeah, maybe that's why nobody's around because it's too hot. But I guess it's always hot here
No,
because it's here.
no, it varies.
I thought that worked like, do you remember Latin and like the little Vale of the Fairies, and it was like winter over here and summer over here.
Yeah, I think it's always hot right here. I don't think it gets cold right here.
We're all in the Feywild, and sometimes you just kind of get used to weird things happening. But Billy, have you noticed anything weird?
Actually, you know what? I have noticed that Mudman kind of dries out around the edges because it's hot here.
It does seem to be getting warmer, and strange weather's not unusual in the Fey. It's depending on where you are.
What do we remember about Athenus, is Twitch right? Is it always hot in this area of the Feywild?
Give me a history check.
Okay.
At advantage.
2 2s.
You are
my
way
God.
distracted.
Xeonci has no idea.
With my history is a +2, so 22.
So you can assume this specific spot right here is probably very hot, but usually Athenus itself is usually a moderate temperature, usually almost kind of like a mix between the seasons.
Right. Like the fall or spring.
Mm-hmm. More springish probably.
Yeah.
Another day or so goes by. Nothing super eventful happens. Still nobody on the road. Unfortunately, Greg listened to Blackjack, went back to his mom. But you do find yourself leaving this flower-filled valley you've been walking in for a while and approaching a forest of some kind around the late afternoon, early evening time of the day. Jaska could roll nature, and then Blackjack or Xeonci could roll a history.
Modified 20 for nature.
No, there you go. 8 for history.
A 17 for history.
Good. So, Jaska, the road is still wide and clear. The birds are chirping. No alarm bells going off for you. It seems like a perfectly respectable wood. Xeonci, you have some vague recollections of some maps that you've seen before, and you're pretty sure that this is the Glimmerwood Forest. From what you remember about the Glimmerwood Forest, it's not very remarkable. Nothing particularly interesting has ever happened here.
Xeonci sighs really heavily and is like,
Man, I think that's the Glimmerwood. It's one of the most boring places in the entire Feywild. Which I guess in the Feywild is actually a kind of a memorable thing.
That's
I
saying
mean-
something. If something has not happened there,
It
most
would.
places things happen.
It would give us that break that we've always been, well, Billy mostly has been
I want the
talking
day
about.
off. I want the vacation. We were supposed to have a beach vacation, but then somebody got kidnapped by a god.
Kidnap's such a strong
I
word.
didn't get to go swimming.
Well, I
It
mean,
has been 2 weeks, Jaska, and we're super glad you're back. It's so nice to have your voice.
You
and
didn't
just-
even
Thank
leave a
you.
note.
But, you know.
well, I believe his name, Lewin left a note with Mistletoe here.
Mistletoe is a tumbleweed. He can't tell us what happened. We thought you'd been kidnapped.
I think that was part of the plan. Anyway, I know we've got to go to Athenus, but
Wait a minute. That was part of the plan. So you're saying that we were actually supposed to follow you so we could solve this murder that we didn't know was going to happen?
yes, did Cios not mention
Remember,
that?
Blackjack, it's the whole Cios thing and one thing in front of the other, and you knew it before you didn't. It's a whole thing of God and luck.
Oh, I got that. But I
Blackjack,
still
do
needed
what
that.
I do. Don't think about us very hard, and
Do you
it'll
know
be
how hard
fun.
it is for me to not think about something?
Look in the mirror. You'll get distracted.
That's true.
Think about all those people at those parties that didn't notice you.
I don't even have to look in the mirror. I'm just thinking about looking in the mirror, and I'm very distracted right now.
Jaska, you missed this part of the story when we were looking around and snooping around the rooms. Blackjack found exactly one mirror, and he was zoned out.
I bet. He seems the type. Anyway, as I was saying, I know we've got to go to Athenus, and I know there's that business about the dragon, but we might be able to have a bit of a vacation here in the Glimmerwoods, especially if nothing interesting ever happens in them.
It'd be a good place to rest, especially with Beatrix maybe feeling a little under the weather. We could just rest up in the forest. If nothing goes on in there, I think it's a great place to stop. We're not in any hurry to get to Athenus.
I mean, Blue Dragon's gonna Blue Dragon.
I'm sure Billy's getting tired of pulling the wagon that we've had to stow Beatrix in.
It's a great workout, but it's very hot under all of this armor.
Are we talking about just really camping in the woods?
Yeah, just for
Yeah.
like a day.
I'm gonna cast Arcane Eye. Oh yeah. And have it go through the. So we're not trailing, we're in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have to go deeper into the woods, off of where we are. Kind of look around. I can move it 30 feet per turn, but we're not in turns.
Right.
I can still see through it as far away as it goes. So you see him like zone out a little bit. Just kind of concentrating on this. Is there like footprints, tracks? Any place that looks like there's a good place to camp?
Yeah, a little clearing or something.
Give me a survival
Okay.
for you to be able to recognize.
Based on studying Jaska and how she does it, I'm just gonna cash in my 13 to make it a total of 18 on the roll.
You're 13 from what?
I rolled Portent at the end of the long rest that we just finished. I rolled 2 d20s for Portent, and I get to keep them and use them before a roll is made.
Are you doing that like before you guys even enter the woods? Like,
Well, everyone's sitting here going, we could go in there and camp. I'm like, oh, I want to check this out first.
Okay, so you send it in and you follow the road for a while. The road doesn't really even narrow that much. It looks really the same. You see some kind of game trails off to the sides every now and then, but you don't really see anything super out of the ordinary. Squirrels, birds, trees, lots and lots of trees.
But the road does go in through Glimmerwood.
The road goes through Glimmerwood and it's just as wide and well maintained as it has been.
It looks pretty okay a little bit off the road up ahead.
All right, seems like a good enough place to set up some tents.
I will say that you do find a little copse off the side of the road, so you're not camping in the middle of the road. You're just kind of off to the side, a little clearing in the trees.
I think like actually literally in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you continue into the forest and set up camp for the evening, and as the sun sets, you notice that the trees seem to glow. They glimmer as the breeze rustles the leaves. You can't really see the moon or the stars through the foliage, but the forest is far from pitch black. Even though you're in this little clearing, you've got these big trees with these big canopies. So if you lean and look just right, you could see like a little square section of the sky between some leaves, but you can't just like look up and see open sky.
Yahtzee,
Yeah.
I think I know why they call this Glimmerwood.
I know.
Have y'all never been through here before?
No, we've never been to the Feywild is very large. We've never been in this spot. We just know parts of it.
Yeah, I just assumed with your patron being Oberon that you'd have gone to Athenus at some
Well, this
point.
is never the way Blackjack's made it to Athenus.
Okay.
I'm going to have my arcane eye that can move any direction go up above the trees to that little opening and just kind of maybe look up in the sky. You can see all directions.
Yeah, above the canopy, nothing's out of the ordinary. You see how absolutely large this forest is. You cannot see the end of it in any direction
More
except...
upward, there's nothing dragon-shaped.
Nope. You settle down for the night. Are you guys going to do watch? Or are you going to bank on this?
100%.
We've got
I'll take first watch and I go straight to sleep.
Zianzi, you were able to attune to your whip of warning, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And I remember now when it vibrates like that, I should pay attention.
Yeah, all right. Let us know if your whip goes off, Zianzi.
I will totally do that.
So are you going to do a watch or are you just going to rely on the whip?
I think we should still do a watch.
Yes.
Okay, so then everybody who's not Twitch, because he immediately falls asleep, roll me a perception for your watch shift.
I got a 9.
I got an 11.
Zion's got a 16.
Okay. So, Zianzi, you're the one that gets to see this. This is great, because actually how I pictured it in my head. Okay, so, Zianzi, towards the end of your shift, you find yourself full of contentment. You look across the group, and Billy is snoring, lightly wrapped around his bald tail like a cinnamon roll, a puddle of mud nearby. Blackjack's large feet twitch. Maybe he's dreaming of dancing. And Vin Weasel rests nearby, his shimmering form shifting in the firelight. Twitch seems to mumble to himself, but you can't make out what he says exactly as he rolls away from the low-burning fire. Beatrix, off from the group, absent-mindedly holds her loop of keys around her fist, and they make a soft tinkling noise as her fingers kind of clench tightly around that loop. And Jaska, you smile, because Jaska reaches out for her tumbleweeds, finds Blueberry, pulls the shrub in close against her body, curling protectively around it. As you look up from this scene, you notice a group of fireflies. The fireflies themselves aren't unusual. You've seen them drifting in and out of the glowing leaves of the trees, but what's unusual is that this particular group seems to form an arrow in the air before you, and then they fly in the direction the arrow was pointing before dispersing. You quickly lose sight of them, but you try to remember the direction they flew and return to your uneventful watch.
Was it departing the path?
Yes, but no. So it was departing the large highway that you guys have been on, but it was a path.
If I go over and look down that way, is there anything I can see?
Just a path, because the trees, like I said, it's pretty bright for night at least. The trees form kind of an arch over the pathway, and it's definitely a smaller pathway, but it's not, like you and Billy could walk next to each other on the pathway. It's not super claustrophobically narrow, but it is narrower than the highway you have been on. Who took last watch?
I guess that would probably be me.
So, Blackjack, you're sitting on watch. The fire's going real low at this point. Maybe you throw an extra log on there, and anytime you throw Glimmerwood onto this fire, it sparks up into colors, and it's really entertaining. And as you're watching these sparks fly up, you notice that the Glimmerwood trees are starting to glow a little bit brighter than when you first closed your eyes at night. And you can't see the sun, but you can kind of sense it's that moment before dawn breaks. And you're looking over the fire into the trees and see a pair of glowing green eyes blink at you from the darkness. And at the same moment, you notice a glow and a buzzing sound coming from Xionsi's sleeping form.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/RedDirtDnD. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at RedDirtDnD.com or RedDirtRPG.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
So Blackjack, you see these glowing eyes blink at you, and Xionsi's whip of warning goes off, and so we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative. And I'm gonna hand over combat to Aiden Cross.
20 or higher. 15 or higher on initiative.
18.
19
19 plus 3 dex.
plus 4 dex.
So first Xionsi, then Jaska, then Blackjack.
Oh, actually, once you add my initiative, I had a 15 precisely.
There you go.
And Twitch, what'd you get?
14.
All right. Xionsi, you're going first.
Xionsi awakens to the whip of warning and pops up.
Dragon! Dragon! There's a dragon!
And what do I see?
Blackjack looking at a pair of green eyes in the trees.
Xionsi, there's some green eyes over there.
Yeah, okay.
Pulls the short bow and yeah, I'm just gonna hold that until this thing does something aggressive.
Jaska.
Jaska sits upright, her tumbleweed going flying as she opens her hands and grabs her bow and... Dragon? What? What do you mean there's a dragon?
I made a dragon with green eyes.
She gets up and stares at what Blackjack and Zianzi are staring at. And can I do some type of check to see if I can recognize what
Give me a
these are?
nature check.
Okay.
I'll also give you survival if that's higher.
And in of its helpful information, these particular creatures only live in this wood, as their name implies.
A 22.
It's kind of hard to tell, but you spent time with Pumpkin. You recognize the cat feline-like eyes. Something about this is very feline-ish in nature, but it's almost like they blend in with the woods, so you can't quite detect what exactly it is, but it's some sort of feline that's clearly native.
Okay. I'm going to kind of lower my bow down a little, and Jaska will kind of go in front of Blackjack and Zianzi and do a little cat. Pss, pss, pss. Can I do an animal handling?
I'll allow it.
And I'll offer out some food. That is a 23.
As you start going to these very clear cuts, you see both of their eyes kind of go wide. They dilate for just a second, but they still seem a little bit on edge.
Okay. And I'll use the rest of my action to kind of toss some food out to where they're at. And that's it.
All right, Blackjack.
You said I'm seeing 2 pairs of eyes.
Yep.
Okay, can you back me up 30 feet away from them? And then I am going to bonus action cast Hex on we'll go with the gray one. Then I will ready an Eldritch Blast in case something pops out that is worthy of me hitting it with an
You can
Eldritch
move Jaska up a little closer, about halfway between them.
Blackjack, anything else?
That is it.
All right, it's their turn. They're just going to very softly approach Jaska.
As they get closer now, can I make out more of their features?
So their fur, they appear to be very similar to a creature you've heard of before, a lynx, but their fur glimmers with almost the sort of same glimmer the bark does. And you see them approach the meat, but their attention goes from the meat all of a sudden to the back of your party as they are going to Misty Step over behind Zianzi. And the other one is going to Misty Step over to Twitch. And who is holding an action?
I am holding an action for anything aggressive.
Yes.
All right, so Blackjack and Zianzi, you get your attacks off. As Zianzi, if you're shooting the one next, actually you'll have disadvantage on either one because they are now next to you.
Zianzi's going to shoot at the one that moved over to Twitch because that's the one that he saw first. A natural 18.
Okay, Zianzi, go ahead and roll damage. You hit.
And we're going to imbue that with a little bit of Divine Strike, and that's going to be 3 points of damage from the short bow and 2 points of poison.
Ooh, ouch. Yeah, it appears to hit it fairly well. It looks like it's staggering a little bit, but looks mostly fine. Blackjack.
Well, I would much rather go for the one that's on Zianzi to help protect him, but since I have the hex on the one that is on Twitch, I will go after that one. 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
19 points of force damage.
Okay.
And my second bolt, 12.
That will miss.
Okay.
As one of your bolts hits pretty well on one of the legs, it appears to stagger, but still looks mostly fine, while the other just flies off, almost hitting Twitch.
Mr. Blackjack, be careful.
And then they are going to make their attacks. First on the bite attack against Zianzi, 23 to hit.
That's a hit.
Will be 17 points of piercing. And then 2 claw attacks, 19 to hit.
Just.
13 slashing. And then 17 to hit.
Misses.
A bite attack at Twitch will be 19 to hit.
Hits.
7 points of piercing. That'll be a 9 to hit.
The misses.
And then a 14 to hit. 13 points of slashing. And as they're kind of tearing into your cleric and your wizard, that is their turn. Billy, these things are tearing into your friends.
I'm going to run up to the one on Zianzi and Mudman, get out of bed! Hurry up! We've got enemies! And he's going to try to slash at these guys. That's only a 20 to him.
That'll hit.
17.
That'll hit.
Okay, so the Sword of Stone and Mud. I'm also going to do a goading attack. When I hit with a weapon, I use a superiority die, which is now a D10. And he's got to make a DC 16 Wisdom.
That'll be a failure.
So he has disadvantage to attacking anyone who is not me, like the until my next turn. So it's only for 1 round. But I also add the damage. So for the first hit, that's going to be 17 damage. And then for the second hit, it's only going to be 6. But I also have my offhand. Baby Sword rolls over 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
He only gets 5 damage. But action surge!
All right.
So we're going to try 2 more hits with the Sword of Stone and Mud. Unfortunately, that is only a 14.
14 will hit.
12 damage. And then 28 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yeah. 12 more damage.
All right. So as Billy tears this thing with what, 5 attacks?
Yeah.
It is looking far worse than its counterpart that already got hit.
I say, hey, do not attack me and my friends.
Twitch, it is your turn.
Yay! I'm looking around at what just happened. I'm not awake yet. Ow, I just got hit. Okay, I see what's going on, and I think if I'm real careful, and I reach down to the end of my cape with one hand, I can pull this off, and I quickly pull the end of the cape up over my head and spin around and squeeze my eyes closed real hard and think really, 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 really hard about being behind Jaska. That's my action. I don't want to move. So I'm going to start reaching around for a vial of health potion, and that's my turn.
So, back to the top of the order, Zianti.
Ziansi says a quick little prayer to Grandma Spider and channels divinity called Cloak of Shadows and will become invisible until the end of their next turn.
That means you can move away freely.
Exactly.
Wow, Mr. Ziansi, you disappeared. Run away.
I'm working on it. It's also going to run toward Jaska and Twitch, and then bonus action spiritual weapon on the gray one, the one that is 15 feet in front of Jaska. 17 on the die for, okay, very cool. 8 points of damage from the spiritual weapon.
What is your spiritual weapon?
It is a whip.
Anything else, Zianti?
That'll be all.
Do
Yes.
you become visible again when you cast that spell?
It's at the end of my next turn.
Jaska.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Fine print. Until the end of your next turn, or until you attack or cast a spell.
Jaska, your turn.
Okay. Seeing that Twitch got hit by this lynx, I'm going to use bonus action Healing Spirit and cast it in Twitch's area.
Sweet.
So Twitch, you're going to get 6 hit points back. So that was maximum. And then she will turn around in her spot and do her first attack at the gray.
Healing Spirit's a bonus action, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the gray lynx for a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
7 points of piercing damage.
What does your healing spirit look like? Is it a big tumbleweed that just bumps into Twitch?
Yeah. And then the next attack, I'm going to do it at the red one for modified 20.
That'll hit.
19 points of piercing damage.
Youch. Red one is not looking that great. Blackjack.
Can you tell me how far away I am from the gray one?
About 30 feet.
30 feet. That's exactly what I need. First off, move Vin Weasel to the gray one, and I'm going to cast Maddening Hex as a bonus action. That is a +5 psychic damage. I am then going to move 30 feet up and to the right. Then I am going to shoot with my Eldritch Blast. And Vin is giving me the help action. So for the first attack is advantage. 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
9 points of force damage. Second one, 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
10 points of force damage, yeah. Gosh, bad rolls.
That one's not looking the greatest either, but they're still looking decent, but not great.
Yeah, I was hoping for better. Pass turn.
Bloodied, you could say, yes. It is their turn. So the one on Billy is going to Misty Step on over
Oh, get back here!
to
It really likes the
Jaska, Ziansi, and Twitch.
The two that got targeted at the beginning.
sides.
The two that got targeted at the beginning of this fight just grouped
as all of a
up.
sudden you see this icy fog start swirling around it, and then you three to make me Constitution saving throws.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to use my inspiration of the holiday. Ziansi had Constitution and save of 14.
I got a 19.
I have 15.
You all save, and it appears to stay around. If you stay in it, then it's going to be incredibly hard to breathe.
It's very cold. It's
So-
that kind of cold that like hurts your lungs.
Oh, I know that. Oh, I hate that.
The one on the spiritual weapon and Vin Weasel is going to Misty Step over here. closer to Blackjack and is going to use the rest of its movement to move to Blackjack as it appears to be eyeing that rabbit. It is really in the mood for rabbit right now.
Hassenpfeffer!
Looks delicious.
Thank you.
For the bite attack will be 9 to hit,
9 will not hit.
14 to hit for the claw,
Will not hit.
20 to hit for the claw. 13 points of slashing damage. And they will pass turn Billy.
I really want to hit the one I started, but Mr. Blackjack's all alone. Come on, Mudman, we gotta go save Blackjack. So Billy will run up to the one over on Blackjack and take a few swipes at him. 14,
That'll hit.
9 damage for the first hit.
All right.
Second hit is 15,
That'll hit.
15 damage also. And then Baby Sword, also with 14,
That'll hit.
but only 7.
The one on Billy and Blackjack is looking very bad. As Twitch, it is your turn. First off, he's going to be constant.
Yeah.
The cold air.
12.
You fail this time and take 2 points of cold damage. It is heavily obscured, which blocks vision entirely, so you have disadvantage on it.
At this close?
Yeah, this close.
Okay.
You cannot see anything. You are blind.
I'm just going to turn and walk away.
Hope for the
1,
best.
2, 3.
take a bad attack.
No, stop. Don't tell me what the result was.
Yep.
It rolls a 3 on the die.
All right. In a twist of fate, you see it almost tries to hit you, but barely misses.
And I said, what's wrong? I'm scared. And then my action is to magic missile the one in front of my good friend Blackjack. Casting it at 2nd level. So 5, 5, 2, and 5.
Wow.
Good job, bud.
17 points of damage?
Yeah.
It is barely standing.
So these 4 light blue lights streak across the clearing that is just getting brighter as the sun rises. The light kind of bouncing off of the Glimmerwood trees and goes right past Billy's ear. He can hear it whew, past his ear and hit that lynx. You've got Ziansi and Jaska caught in this cold, icy cloud. Billy and Blackjack working together with one of these lynxes. And let's have to see what happens next time.
Red Dirt D&D Tales from the Wilds is Kiri Hester as Billy and our Dungeon Master, Connor Shenold as Jaska, Johnny Payne as Twitch, Kim Cross as Beatrix, Brooke Bullock as Ziansi, and I'm Michael Cross as Blackjack. The showrunner for Campaign 2 is Aidan Cross. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician PJ Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music, courtesy of Monument Studios, Sirenscape, Describe.com, and TabletopAudio.com. Dice for the Red Dirt D&D cast provided by SD Way Gaming. You can find us at reddirtdnd.com. If you are enjoying Red Dirt D&D, make sure to subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd at whatever giving level works best for you. Join us next time as we travel farther into the wilds.
All right, we are rolling whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'm going to start. If this genuinely upsets you, then we will redo it, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Because I texted
I am
this
so
to...
excited.
If Dr. Alucard shows up, by God, so help me.
Because I texted
I'm
this
intrigued.
to Aiden, and I said, Aiden, are they going to hate that I have done this? And he's like, it's whatever you want to do. You're in charge. So...
We're going to wake up in the
won't
Ironwoods
care.
and this is all a dream.
Remember, it's yes and.
Blackjack, you haven't had what you would call a close personal connection with your Patreon.
Him too.
Him too.
I have great connection with my patrons.
We talk to them all the time. If you're going from fall to spring, you gotta get through summer.
That's right. We're just going backwards.
We're going backwards in time again. Oh no.
Fall gave winter and spring a miss and went straight on into summer.
Oklahoma.
This is the Glimmerwood Forest. From what you remember about the Glimmerwood Forest, it's not very remarkable. Nothing particularly interesting has ever happened here.
Well,
Sorry. That is the most unique thing about this is nothing has ever happened.
Nothing's ever happened
It's
here.
the Feywild, I imagine.
Is it kind of like how Vin Diesel works, but it's just a magic spell?
It's a magic spell. It's an eye appears.
Gross.
It can go.
But it's just like an eyeball hanging in the...
It's awesome.
It's beautiful.
It's
It's
just like a floating orb that has all.
It's gross.
It's pretty.
You remember, Carrie doesn't like...
talking or Bill?
I think it's Billy
Carrie.
talking.
Carrie doesn't
It's
like
invisible.
those dice that have eyes in them.
I
so
don't.
It is invisible.
Okay, good. That
Actually.
makes me feel
Okay.
better.
Yes. So
As long as I can't see that it's gross, that's fine.
you're gonna have it. So
Well, you guys can kind of head towards that and set up your infirmary tent and all of that.
I'm going to quarantine off Beatrix.
Quarantine.
Beatrix, get some rest.
I remember now, when it vibrates like that, I should pay attention.
Yeah, all right.
Because either it's trying to tell you something or you're getting a page. Which is the sound effect I actually used during
Yeah. I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll with advantage.
Dear listener, if you're not one of our patrons, you don't know, but my players have inspiration for wearing festive wear because we're recording this on December 10th.
Can you back me up 30 feet away from them? Is that the right character?
There's Blackjack.
Nope,
Nope, that's
me.
Jaska.
I put the wrong character out
You
there.
put the wrong character out here.
That's embarrassing. I put out my Saturday night group. Out there. I was so used to him.
What do we have a drow?
I don't recognize
is that why it was in a toga?
Yeah. It's a white necromancer that I play on Saturday night.
Oh, nice.
He's really good.
WIGHT?
WHITE.
Oh, okay.
A white
So, yeah,
necromancer.
Yeah, like a white witch.
You can also put Billy on the board.
Where's
Yeah.
Billy?
Over there.
He's over here. I have short arms. I cannot reach.
So does Billy.
You left his base behind.
Billy lost his leg.
Short arms, no feet.
It's hard. It's hard being a possum in the woods.
A natural 18?
At disadvantage?
You still have disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage.
Because this thing is engaged with you.
And a 19.
There you go.
Booyah.
Disadvantage who? That's Brooke's one good roll for the whole
It's
session.
that was it.
Wow, Mr. Gianci, you disappeared. Run away.
I'm working on it.
Don't talk!
All right. Sorry.
If you've learned anything from Blackjack, don't talk while you're invisible.
Is also going to run toward Jaska.
We're
Bonus
scared.
action.
We run to Jaska. We're scared. Mommy.
When no one's running over to me.
I didn't notice you were there.
And then
What does your healing spirit look like? Is it a big tumbleweed that just bumps into Twitch?
Yeah.
Get away from me. Uh-oh.
it's celestial and glowing.
That tumbleweed just comes over with a tube of icy hot. And he's
Red one is not looking that great.
good. I was gonna be so mad if you finished the thread one off. I've been working so hard.
Jaska.
I did most of the work. You can't just swoop in. That was a mistake when I created the stat block on the stat block maker that I did.
You created the stat blocks for these?
Yeah.
You are so awesome.
Oh, well, I mean, I took a base.
Okay, well, yeah.
And
Still,
then-
Even still.
that's a pro DM move. So congratulations.
As I need you three to make me Constitution saving throws.
Oh, no.
Patrons, if you're listening, start giving Twitch Constitution throws.
Yes.
Come on, Mudman, we gotta go save Blackjack. And I will go up here to the... I don't even like Blackjack. He's like, got a lot of like main character energy, but like in a bad way.
Come on, we're like Billy Jack.
It's a little narcissistic.
That's Mudman. That's Mudman doesn't
Mudman,
like you.
that's right, yes.
15 damage also. And then Baby Sword. Baby Sword, do 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 do.
Are we talking about just really camping in the woods?
Yeah, just for like a day.
Just like a, what, oh, you know what? I'm going to call it a weekend.
What is a weekend?
That's it. It's going to be the end of the week. We are going to have a weekend. We're going to have a weekend. I'm going to call it vacation.
And then Beatrix might get feeling better because of her weakened immune system.
I haven't burst out that hard with laughter in a month.
I don't.
Oh, dear listener, let me remind you that we have been in the murder mystery castle for months.
We're back to silly.
Kiri is here to bring the silly.